guys, today we are taking a look at and talking about how to get all the brand new Piebald animals that were added with both the Twilight pack and the update 1.11. Of course, the red fox got added specifically with the Twilight pack and the new Piebald pattern came with it. But in 1.11, the Piebald pattern was also added to the springbok, the pronghorn antelope, and the Niala. So as you can see, I have 4 highly detailed best builds I've ever done. We have some habitats set up here. We're gonna take a look at all of them, starting with the springbok. Now, originally I was only gonna put down a male and a female, but as you can see by just taking a look, you are not Piebald, get out. You aren't either. Get out. They're having babies and they're not supposed to be in there. As you can see by taking a look, just because they're male and female does not mean that they have the exact same pattern. So this right here is a female, so is that, and their patterns are slightly different. Let's see if I can find another one here. This one's gonna match this one. That's also a female. This one over here is a male. But I absolutely love how they've added variation in the Piebald pattern itself, because it just makes your enclosures, your populations of animals look super interesting. As you can see here, not each one of them look exactly the same. Now, there is only a limited number of patterns. There's not an infinite number of different variations, but even still, adding just a couple, I think is fantastic. You, sir, walking on top of bushes. But yeah, the springbok looks great. Not an animal that I really paid attention to a whole lot prior to this, but now that they have a cool pattern, you can see we have a female here. I won't pay attention to them anymore other than this video, but look how great they look. I think they look absolutely fantastic. So that is the springbok pattern there, males, females, and babies. Let's go ahead and take a look at one of my favorites. The Niala looks fantastic. Now, we originally, can you come down and act like a normal Niala, please? That would be fantastic, not a glitchy one on top of the rocks. We saw the Niala female pattern in a screenshot that Frontier released, so we kind of already knew what we were getting with this one, but if I can find her, there is a second female in here, and they are slightly different. Let me go ahead and maybe move these guys next to each other. That might be the easiest way to kind of discern the differences. They're very, very slight in the Nialas. It's not a drastic change, but there is some slight difference between the two. So if you can see here, just in the patterning, very, very different. Actually, these two might be the exact same. Where was the one that had a different pattern? I might be going crazy. But anyway, this one right here. So you can see this right here and this right here. See how this kind of comes up with a long skinny tan part? And then this one kind of doesn't. It's kind of broken up. So there's a bunch of little subtle differences between there, but enough so that they don't look just copy and pasted from one another. So there you go. I got it wrong. It was the babies, not the females. I knew there was 2 different ones in the game. But yeah, so that is the female that we saw in the screenshot. And then running over here, the male, who looks like he's going to get himself some scratchies, looks equally as cool. I think he actually might even look cooler just because of this dark hair on his body, and then the piebald. He has just much higher of a contrast. And I love that it's specifically on their back. He's got one white stocking leg here. You can see the rest of his legs are yellow like they normally would be. I think it's fantastic. I think he looks amazing. Okay, go ahead and get your little scratchies in. We'll kind of watch him and see what he does, because I love watching their animations. It's become a new obsession of mine to find, 1, all the color morphs, but 2, take a look at all the animations and what the animals do in the game. I've been doing those species breakdown videos, so that is kind of what sparked it. But I'm really enjoying it. There you go, buddy. Give yourself some little scratchies. Beautiful. So yeah, that is the Niala, the males, females, and the babies. Moving on to the pronghorn antelope. I have a ton of them in here because they have no struggles breeding. They go absolutely crazy, but you can see our 2 males right here. I think there might be one more male over there. No, one more male laying down. This guy you can see does have some differences of the other 2. I believe it's this one. He's got like more white on his head and white that goes up further. No, okay, it's the same. These guys are the same. They're just in different orientations because that guy's laying down and this guy is standing up. This guy might be a little bit more solid. Yeah, he's got white solidly on his back and this one does not. So that's a really good example. You can see here that the splotchiness, this guy has more of the red on his back and it's splotchy down into the white. This guy has more white here and the red is really just on the butt and the neck and then a little bit on the side there. So that's what I mean, just by little bits of variation that kind of just add that extra touch. And then you can see this is the guy I was thinking about. This is still a male. Look at how much color variation he has on his face in comparison to this guy over here. This guy almost still has like the normal pronghorn antelope pattern on his face. And this one, the piebald pattern goes all the way up onto his face. He's really splotchy with all the white patterning all over. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Then obviously we have our females, which are the same kind of thing, little variants. And then look at the little babies. How cute are they? Stop walking away. We want to admire you. How cute are they? Same splotchiness all up onto the face here. And then I think I have a couple more. I had to put them in the trade center at one point just because they kept growing up and I needed some babies to show off in the video. So it looks like I only ended up with one baby, but there you go. So that's the pronghorned antelope. Absolutely love it. So those 3 hoofstock species are going to be the 3 species that were already in the game that are getting their piebald versions with 1.11. Then we're moving on to the red fox. So the red fox, obviously coming with the Twilight pack, is not going to be an animal that you're going to see unless you pick up that DLC. But I am so impressed with the variety of the red fox. So there are technically what I believe are 2 different piebald variations of this guy. There are red and white pied fur, black legs, white chest and tail tip, and then red brown and white pied fur, black legs, white chest and a tail tip. And I think that's red brown, that one's red and white. I believe those are the only 2. Yeah, red brown, but you can see just with those 2 different descriptors. Oh, this is my favorite animation. Look, he's gonna roll on his back. I love them so much. You can see how different each of these are. Like this one right here is absolutely gorgeous with the white face and the blue eyes. This is one that we saw in the screenshot, I believe, the screenshot reveal, although that one might have had more white on its back. But yeah, the blue eyes and kind of the bald face, absolutely gorgeous on this guy. Are you sped up or are you not? Because no, you're not. Okay, great. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, look, there's that animation again. I absolutely love them. But yeah, so much variation. And then this one fox in here got busy and it had 6 babies, 5 of which were piebald. So you can see the little variation on the little babies here. They've got the white obviously on their back and everything, but how adorable do these baby foxes look? For those of you seeing the fox for the first time, because it is a new animal, what do you think? I am very impressed. I love it so much. It's definitely my favorite animal of the pack. I'm really, really impressed. It also has a ton more variations. Let's go ahead and find one to follow here just so we can take a close look. Oh, look at that. This one's got like a blaze on its face, the piebald on the chest and everything. There goes the one with the white face and the blue eyes. Absolutely gorgeous. But there's also part melanistic ones that are crosses that aren't completely colored. There are melanistic ones. There are a bunch of different colors like red fur, orange, yellow fur, something like that. I have all of them and I'm planning to do a separate video, obviously the species breakdown, but this one is just focusing on the piebald version. But yeah, I think they look absolutely gorgeous. So let's talk about how to get these variants. It was relatively easy for me to find all of the fox variants, including the piebald versions as well as the melanistic and the other colorations. I was able to find those fairly quickly just by adopting a bunch of different foxes in sandbox mode and just waiting for them to pop up. But unfortunately, my ultimate answer in how to find these variants is not a very fun one. It's luck and chance, and it's just based on the percentage chance that these guys have to show up. Now, some animals have more of a chance to show up than others, but unfortunately some of them can be very difficult to find. And that brings me to a bit of a concern that I have with that, in that I sat and looked for the piebald versions of the animals for over 6 hours. By just sitting in sandbox mode, adopting animals over and over and over again, refreshing the animal trading center and adopting more over and over and over again. And in that 6 hours, I was able to find all of the fox variants and the female Niala, and that's it. No springbok, no pronghorn antelope, and no male Niala. And my major concern with that is one, that was very time consuming to put all that energy and effort into a video and not even get anywhere close to finishing it. But two, even if I were just a player and this update came out and I was really excited because I wanted to see new variants in the game, to have to spend over 6 hours and still not be able to see those new additions to the game, I feel like is a bit of a broken mechanic. I feel like that is a tad too difficult for just the average player. Many people sit down and only play Planet Zoo for a couple hours at a time, let alone 6 hours. I mean, it could take days, weeks, months for people to find these animals, and I feel like that is just way too difficult, especially in sandbox mode. In sandbox mode, things are meant to be open and unlimited and available for you, and I do believe that that should include the color variants as well. Now, in modes like franchise mode or challenge mode, it does make sense to have you breed for these animals, increase the animal statistics, and increase the chance of getting those variants that way. That makes sense to me mechanically because you're playing a game that you're trying to work at and trying to breed these animals to get those variants. But if you just want to check them out, if you just want to see them, with the odds that they are right now, there's a chance that you may never see them, or it may take, like I said, weeks, months to even see these guys. So I do think that's something Frontier, if you could fix or just increase very slightly, I think it would be a great improvement to the game. Now, as far as how I specifically found all of these guys for the video, massive shout out to Leaf. Awesome person, wonderful content creator. Leaf sent me over a custom mod that increased the chances of all of these animals showing up, and I was able to find them within 15 minutes or so of sitting down and adopting and refreshing the animal trading center in Sandbox. So Leaf made my job 1,000 times easier and made it so that I could show these guys off for you guys. But those are going to be your 2 ways to find these guys, or 3 ways rather, is by luck and chance, just by adopting in the Sandbox Animal Trading Center and hoping one shows up, breeding them, trying to get 100% across all of your statistics, and again, hoping one pops up, or downloading a mod that increases those chances. So those are going to be the 3 different ways that you can see these guys. Hopefully you're able to get them in game. I'm actually toying with the idea of uploading this zoo file to the workshop. just as a blank map, but it'll have the animals in the zoo file for you if you want to play with them and build for them. So let me know if that would be something you would be interested down in the comments below. If you made it this far, do leave a like. It really does help out the channel and I greatly do appreciate it. If you're new to the channel and interested in Planet Zoo, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future content. And you can follow me on all of my other social media pages. All those links are down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will talk at you in the next video. Bye!